Yo, welcome back, everybody. The Ron and E podcast. You know, it's my man Ron.
What's up?
Yeah. It's been a long time since we made a video, man.
Yeah.
What, 3 weeks? Yeah. Can't be doing that no more. I guess our only excuse is, we've been into the playoffs as well, especially with the finals just ending. But we're gonna go back to making the videos. At least upload at least twice a week. I think we're able to do that. But for me, camp's coming up. But yeah, man. Today we got just a little video, just a little recap of the finals, touch a little bit in the NBA free agency, and then at the end of the video, I got a little special announcement. A lot has changed since we uploaded. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, let's get into it, man. NBA finals. The Bucks ended up winning in 6. Chris Paul blew another 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What's your thoughts, man?
I said it from the beginning, bro. I told you, Chris Paul is not a winner. I told you that. I'm sorry. As great as he is, he's a great player. But when it comes to playoff times, either he's getting hurt or he's just not getting the job done. So, but I like to give my kudos to Giannis and the Bucks. I don't want to take nothing away from them. They played great. Giannis did his thing. Chris Middleton, he showed up when he needed to show up. Holiday had some clutch defensive plays out there.
Yeah, for me, you can definitely say that injuries did play a big part in this year's playoff race. For me, I don't like saying this, but at the end of the day, injuries are part of the game. But I believe if every team was at least healthy, it would be a very different finals matchup. Whether it be the Lakers and the Nets, somehow the Clippers make it, or whatever the Suns did actually make it. But for me, I'm a true believer that if injuries wasn't part of this playoff series, all the series, it's going to be a different matchup. But yeah, that's not taken away from any of the teams. End of the day, you still have to work hard. It's not like it's always going to be easy cakewalk to the finals, because it never is. Doesn't matter if there's injuries or not. It's never easy to make it to the finals, because there's some players, some generational players like Melo and Vince Carter and T-Mac who just never won a ring. So we can't say it's easy to make it to the finals. But Giannis definitely proved to us that he's up there with the LeBrons and the KDs. I think we can all confidently say that. But for me, it's kind of like, for Chris Paul, it's like, you have all these chances, man. You had it with the Rockets. That you can't really say you have with the Thunder, because they weren't even supposed to make the playoffs. But he had it so many times with the Clippers, and you had it so many times with the Rockets. This is I can honestly say this is probably his best team that he's ever played for. Mm-hmm. With the young Booker and the young Ayton, even with those two guys being this young and their first time being in the playoffs, you can definitely say this is Chris Paul's. This is at least one of the best teams Chris Paul has ever played for. But like I said, when the playoffs did start, for me, I always thought that some way that the Suns were going to fold just because of their lack of experience.
Yeah.
Even though I also said that anybody can go off in the playoffs, whether it's the best player in the team or the worst player in the team, anybody can go off. We saw that with Elfrid Payton, but not Payton, but what's his name?
Payne?
Cameron Payne, I believe. Yeah, Payne. For him, he went off against us. But then again, when it come to finals, Booker and Payne, and sometimes even Ayton was getting attacked in Game 6. It was just their young experience just caught up to them. But Booker's and Ayton's futures is definitely bright. You can't say that with this one, their first time being in the playoffs, that they're not going to be that good going down the road. If anything, they're going to be a lot better. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts. I don't know the situation between Chris Paul and the front office of the Suns, but I don't see why he'll go to another team just to start it all over again. The whole being a team's leader. I think for him to be this far into his career, I think he's going to retire with the Suns, or just retire, do the one day contract with the Clippers or even the Pelicans, just retire with them. But for me, I think that Chris Paul's
Yeah. So I mean, so what do you think now that Chris Paul has lost? He's lost multiple opportunities. Did this finals like tarnish any of his legacy? Do you think?
Can't really say tarnish, but it does hurt a little bit, because like it's kind of like it's not with LeBron, because LeBron last season, you had people criticizing him for making the finals, let alone being the hurt Miami team, as some people call it. I don't think it's like that situation, because for me, without Chris Paul, and obviously without Giannis on the Bucks, they're not making to the finals. But I believe without Chris Paul, the Suns don't even make the playoffs. So for me, it's kind of like it does hurt because, like I said, he had a 2-0 lead, and he's blown multiple playoff series when he's led by at least 2 games. But I don't know. Game 6, he played pretty well.
He did.
But for me, it's at some point, it's gonna hurt you. But I can't say that Game 6 is gonna hurt him. But this series alone, him losing with the 2-0 lead, it's gonna hurt him.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, bro. I mean, he's still top 5 in point guards to me. I have him at 5 in my opinion. But yeah, bro. I mean, I told you he's not a winner. I told y'all. I was the first one to say I didn't believe in the Suns. I told y'all that before the playoffs started. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Did I see them making the finals? No, they did prove me wrong in that aspect, but I couldn't account for AD going down and Kawhi going down and Murray going down. So I mean, it's gonna be hectic. I can't wait to see what decisions Chris Paul makes in the future. What team he's gonna play for? What is he going to do? Is he gonna ring chase or is he gonna stay loyal to the Suns? So I mean, I'm interested to see where his mind is at for this off season.
Yeah, for me, I don't see him. I don't think he's going to leave the Suns. For me, like I said before, it's he's too far down his career where he can just go to another team and start fresh. He can't do that. I believe that if he stays on the Suns right now or going into next season, I think it'd be better for not only him but also for the Suns. So it also has to be on the Suns' part to maintain Chris Paul to be like, yo, we can run this back. We know what we need more vets, because that's one thing I believe that the Suns lack, which is vets. And then also a defensive big, because Ayton was just getting demolished by both Joker and Giannis. And you in this league, and the bigs are dominating. We just had Jokic win MVP, and then we just had Giannis also win DPOY, and then he just had 2 back-to-back MVPs. So for me, it's kind of like it's not either. You have to maintain Chris Paul, and you have to get a big that is good for defense. Because Ayton is great off the boards and scoring points. That's none that he struggled with. But for me, it's like defense. You're going to need that. For me, I believe that this league is a 3-and-D league. If you can't hit threes and you can't play defense, you better be able to play make and get your teammates open. If you're not doing that, you're not seeing the court.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna look back at last year, this previous finals. He's gonna learn. He's still really young. He's still developing. I feel like he's gonna get better on the defensive end. But like as a big standpoint, I do feel like you need to get another big, because even after Ayton, I mean, you have like Sargic or whatever his name is. And I mean, he's not really a defensive big. He's kind of more of a stretch 5, 4, whatever kind of person. So I mean, I feel like they kind of need somebody like behind Ayton or even behind like Sargic that can like you said, play defense, kind of get rebounds, kind of just do the traditional center kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that's they don't have that many problems, but the problems they do have are quite major. That's for me. But moving on from the finals, free agency's coming up. With free agency, For me, I love NBA free agency, especially. I love it more than NFL free agency because I think it's more entertaining because there's more transactions on rather than the NFL, which is just a whole bunch of players complaining. You know, for me in the NBA, it's like anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. Because I remember last offseason, Kawhi, it was like, 1 in the morning? I was up and I was just like, I was refreshing my Twitter, man. I was like, yo, where's Kawhi going? And I'm like, the Clippers? Oh, the Clippers? I'm like, ain't no way, man. But it's like, man, I just get so excited for NBA free agency. But, yeah, when NBA free agency starts, trade talks also start. So for us, man, there's a lot of rumors, man. Even right now, it's currently there's talks with KCP and Kuzma for Buddy Hield. But the main rumor that I want to talk about is our point guard situation. And from what I'm hearing from both Shams and even Woj for me, I'm not starting to like Woj. I like Shams more. But for me, from Shams to Lakers pick and roll, it's starting to feel like that we're moving along from Dennis Schroeder. But yeah, I mean, for me, my thoughts on Schroeder, beginning of the season, when the season started, he actually played pretty good. I can't lie. He had some games where he had dropped 22, 25 with nine or either 8 assists. For me, you know, if he can consistently do that, you know, it would be no problem, you know. But there'd be some games, playoff game when he dropped 0 point. That was the whole kill is that 0 point game was the $100 million contract game when the contract extension deadline that was happening. That was when he was like, when we offered him, I believe the 3-year, $85 million contract. He's like, nah, I want 100. And then that game where we needed him to step up, he dropped 0 points. So for me, I believe that was his last game as a Laker. Was the game 6 when we lost to Phoenix. I believe that was Schroeder's last game. So right now, I don't see us getting Chris Paul, and I don't see us getting Lowry. So I got those 2 point guards off the list for the point guard what ifs. But for me, I think the only realistic point guard that we can get is Russell Westbrook, man. I don't know. I had my says on Russell Westbrook. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people that call him Russell Westbrook. There were times, I'm not gonna admit, I definitely did. And then I was also one of those fans that believe that with all those triple doubles that it doesn't matter because he's not winning.
Yeah.
But for me, I believe that if Russell was able to, because right now what we're looking for is to get the playmaking out of LeBron's hands. Because for me, it diminishes LeBron. Because all he's doing is playmaking, then we can't count on him in the fourth quarter to score. He's going to be tired. But, you know, if we're able to get Russ and just have LeBron just scoring and sometimes even playing defense, because for me, LeBron's definitely one of our best defenders. Between him, KCP, and AD, he's one of our best defenders. So for me, I just think that, you know, we're able to get Russ, just have him playmaking, get boards. LeBron's going to have, he's probably going to have the best season as a Laker for him if we're able to get Russ. If all Russ does is playmaking, rebound, LeBron will have his best season. You guys can record, well, I don't care. I truly believe that LeBron's going to have his best season as a Laker. I see him averaging 28, at least 28 a game. And LeBron might get another MVP. I guess that's a bold take, but LeBron might get MVP if we get Russ. Yeah, that's my target list is Russ right now. I can say that. I can say that Russ is definitely on our target list.
Okay, so I also believe that Dennis Schroeder has played his last game as a Laker. He betted on himself from declining that offer that you guys gave him, and you know it backfired on him. But I mean, I remember we was telling you, you know, you was Cedric was telling you Colin Sexton is better than Dennis Schroeder.
Okay. So
back and forth.
So before that, let me say, I believe that KCP would be a better fit for than Sexton when that happened. Because for me, I look at Sexton as a ball dominant player, and we didn't need that. We needed somebody that could hit a three or he can pass. That's what we needed. So if we would have had Sexton or KCP over KCP, I believe that we would have been doing the same. We wouldn't have been going the same direction, and we would probably be playing worse. Not saying that Sexton's a bad player. I just think KCP at the time will be a better fit for what we needed, especially what we need now. We need 3-and-D players.
Yeah, that's understandable. I feel like you guys are definitely missing a third option because you guys wanted Kuzma to be that third option, and that happened. Playoffs happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still rooting for Kuzma though. I ain't give up on Kuzma, but I mean, I feel like you guys definitely need some better shooting because I mean, I remember just mid-season, everybody just like Wesley Matthews, dude. I mean, granted, he did start playing a little better during the playoffs, but I mean, like he still was, Wesley Matthews was still kind of I remember the game where KCP was struggling and LeBron had to pull him over to the side and talk to him. So I mean, I'm intrigued on that Buddy Hield trade for sure. I feel like he's a good shooter. He makes a lot of money, but he's definitely, I feel like, a reliable shooter and stuff like that, and a pretty decent scorer. And then for the Russell Westbrook thing, I do feel like it will be better. It will help LeBron out scoring wise because it will be less responsibility for him to run the offense. And also when he subs out, he has somebody to also keep the offense going and stuff like that. And just like you said, he can play, make, he can rebound. He also can score. The only thing that I'm still like confused or like questioning is the spacing, like because Russell Westbrook isn't really a good shooter. And I mean, LeBron, he can hit threes and stuff, but you would want LeBron going downhill in the paint. And then, you would want AD on the block and not kind of lingering around the 3-point line and stuff like that. So that would be my only concern with the trade. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it would definitely upgrade though. It's still an upgrade though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
not. It's like Dennis is like he'll have his nights, and then when he's off, he's just completely off. For me, even though Russ and Dennis aren't known for defending, Dennis at games would sometimes get targeted. For me, if I had an option between Russ and Dennis Schroeder for getting targeted, I would rather have Dennis get targeted than Russ. But yeah, that having Russ, I think a lot of our fans are going to be saying that, like, yeah, we got somebody who can play make, but, it's not helping our three-pointers, our three-point shooting percentage. Because if anything, we get Russ, it's going to decrease. Our percentage is just going to go down dramatically. But, it's not like Russ can't hit a three at all. But for me, Dennis is a better shooter. I mean, I trust Dennis with the three more than Russ. But, yeah, Russ has a lot more to offer. But I don't know. I believe the only way that this Russ trade could work is if we get our shooters instead of just having a point guard who can just. Because for me, I feel like what the Lakers are trying to do is get a point guard who just fixes all our problems, and we can't. No league, no player can do that. Nobody can just come to a team and just fix every single problem unless you're LeBron or one of the greats. But yeah, LeBron's getting up there in age, and he shouldn't have to have all those responsibilities to do every single thing. But yeah, for me, that's the only way that this Russell Westbrook trade can work is if we get shooters. And for me, I would love to have Ben McLemore back. For me, there were just some times when I'm like, he's in the game, and he's there for those kick-out threes, and he'll hit them. We seen it his first game against the Nets, he went off. And then in the playoffs, we barely played him.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I'm so glad that Montrez, and I feel like we might trade him, and I hope we don't. That's another thing. Montrez hopping to his player option helped us out a lot. Because for me, I feel like him and Vogel probably talked it out, be like, yo, Trez, I'm sorry. I don't think he said sorry, but like, I gotta trust you more because Trez actually did when he did play against the Suns. He was pretty good. He was that scoring option that we needed when Kuzma wasn't there and when Schroeder wasn't there. Even though not Schroeder, but Trez is a liability on defense. For me, it's like he can make it up with his scoring, and we didn't give him the opportunity, unlike Kuzma. And that's why I also get kind of frustrated with Kuzma because he's looking at, for me, I believe that Kuzma's kind of a selfish player because for me, if I'm Kuzma, I'm looking at the Lakers giving me all this different type of role is because they believe in me. If they didn't believe in me, they wouldn't be putting me in A position, B position, C position, blah, 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 all those type of roles that he's complaining about. Because for me, if I'm Kuzma, I'm thinking that, an organization such as the Los Angeles Lakers believe that I can do such and such role. But he's looking at the wrong way, be like, oh, they're putting me in bad positions. They got me in this role one night and this one the other night. For me, you got to step up and be able to do that. But yeah, I don't know. If we get Russ, we have to get 3-point shooters. We have to. Even if we don't get Russ, we have to get 3-point shooters because that's what's been hurting us. That's been hurting us even since last year. That was really hurting us. But somehow we just got away with it, and now it caught up with us. So now we have to maintain Ben McLemore, and we have to maintain Trez for scoring reasons. And then if we get Buddy Hield, we're going to be in hard. I feel like Rob Pelinka is going to put us in a situation where we're going to be hard capped, but I'm going to be fine with that as long as we get the right players to get us hard cap. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't mind being hard cap and trying to make it up years down the road, but as long as we get the right players for it. I'd rather be hard cap with great players than hard cap with just a whole bunch of players that's just below average.
Yeah, of course. That's like probably the main issue I feel like is y'all shooting. Y'all was never really a good shooting team. Even when y'all won the championship, y'all still did struggle from the 3-point line. So I feel like that is something that Rob Pelinka does have to address. And in my opinion, I feel like that's a bigger issue than getting that point guard that can, do everything, try to solve all your problems. So, I mean, I trust Rob Pelinka. He's a really good GM. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's definitely one of the top GMs in the league. Like, dude got LeBron and AD. Doesn't matter we're in Los Angeles. Because if you have a front office that players don't want to play for, they don't care where you're at, whether you're in Los Angeles and New York or even Miami. They don't care. If you have a great front office and you got players that leave and even say that, even Jason Kidd, if you have players and coaches who talk great about your front office when you leave, that's going to bring in more players. We're like, yo, these guys are legit. I want to play for these guys. Yeah. So for me, I think Rob Pelinka, and Rob we trust, I call him Wob with a W. But yeah, I whatever Rob does, is gonna be all right. I trust Rob.
That's what's up.
About the trade situation with Kuzma, for me, let's talk about that, the Buddy Hield situation. So I guess the rumors right now, as I'm looking at it right now, is we're offering Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for Buddy Hield. And for me, I believe that those rumors are true just because the relationship between Luke and Kuzma, I believe that Luke has a little man crush on Kuzma, I guess, because when we had him, that's when Kuzma had his best season. I believe his best season was after his rookie year, where I believe he was averaging 22, 23 a game. Something like that. But that's when Kuzma was going off, is when we had Luke, because he was the starting power forward, I believe, and he was just going off, and he was our main scorer besides Brandon Ingram. So I believe that those rumors are true. But it's that contract, man, that's gonna hurt us. I believe, like you just told me, it's 24 a year.
A year, yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm willing to take on that contract, but he has to play. It can't be a situation where we get Montrez, who just won $6 million a year, and he doesn't play.
Yeah. He's making too much money not to play.
So he's going to have to start. Buddy Hield's definitely going to have to start because just taking KCP out the lineup. But yeah, so I believe if we trade KCP, that we are going to have to resign Ben McLemore.
Yeah, definitely. I think it won't be that hard resigning Ben McLemore. I don't think a lot of teams are gonna be like super banging down his door to sign him. So I think you guys can be able to resign him. And I felt like he gave y'all a good spark and stuff. And I'm surprised that he didn't really play as much. And throughout the playoffs, I was telling you, I was just questioning Vogel's rotations and especially with the Treds and playing Markieff over Treds and it just, I don't know, he just kind of confuses me. But you guys are gonna bounce back next year though. I feel it though, for real.
And for me, I think I just believe I finished watching Space Jam a couple of days ago, and it was the end credits. And it was a scene, it was a picture of Vogel, LeBron, all of them in the huddle, and just Daffy Duck in there. And somebody on Twitter was like, "Now I understand why Vogel's rotations were trash." I'm like, yeah, it was Daffy, but I don't know. But I believe before we get Russ, before we talk about getting Buddy Hield, I believe that our two main things that we have to that we have to do is re-sign Caruso and re-sign Talen Horton-Tucker. Because for me, I guess you could say that Talen Horton-Tucker, I'm a Talen Horton-Tucker stan, but for me, I just believe that he has so much potential because he's not like Kuz or Lonzo. When they first came in, they played scared. They were like, "Oh, can I do this? I don't know if I can make this pass." They were just all over the place. Talen Horton-Tucker came in last year in the playoffs, even the little time that he did play against the Rockets, he didn't look scared. He looked like, I've done this before. And even in this playoff series, not this playoff series, but definitely against the Warriors, for me, I was like praying, put Talen in because we needed a bucket, And I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see him breaking the rotation because, we're going to have Buddy Hield, but I can definitely see him being probably the 6th, 7th man. He's definitely going to come off the bench. When the bench unit comes in or when the second unit comes in, he's going to be in that lineup. But I would not be surprised if the beginning of the season where we're testing out our rosters to see what lineup actually works, that he will be in that starting position. I would not be surprised, but I'm not saying that Talen Horton is going to be, he's going to be a top 10 shooting guard. I'm not saying that, but I believe that he has a lot of potential and he's fearless. That's just my view. So I believe that we definitely need to resign those two players. We need to sign Caruso and Talen Horton-Tucker back because there's already GMs in the league that believe that Talen Horton-Tucker somehow, I'm not saying this, but there's GMs saying that, he deserves that 4-year contract off rip. But I don't know. I believe that we need to definitely develop THT. And once we do that, I believe that he's going to be that second or third option for AD when LeBron's long and gone.
Yeah, I do think it's very important to re-sign Alex Caruso because, he can shoot the ball. He's probably one of y'all best defenders.
Yep.
And so I think he's a very important piece. I like Caruso. And I mean, my thing on THT is, he does play fearless. I give him that. He's not afraid to make mistakes because, we've seen him, make some dumb mistakes here and there. And, it's because of experience and stuff like that. I see the potential. He can, create his own shot. He's still developing. But I mean, I don't know. For me, it's just a wait and see with him because I'm not ready to just buy all in when he's not putting up the numbers right now. But I'm a wait and see guy. I see potential in him. I see fearless in him. But I don't know. We just gotta see for me.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, man. I think that's gonna end it off for today. Now for the special announcement. So with the new bill being passed and the new NIL changes, us college athletes are able to get paid, get sponsorships and all that type of stuff. So that being said, You know, I have 2 shout outs I'd like to do. Shout out to Lost Love, New York City. You know, I'll put all the links down below. You know, versus Enigma as well. You know, they have some great closing. You know, I think you guys will like. You know, I'll put all the links down below with the discount code as well. So if you guys could please click the link, use those codes, that help us out as well for the channel. But yeah, man, that's gonna end off for today. You know, sorry for the delay. You know, won't have it again. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.
All right, peace.